We're staging for another half hour of Nitro Fuel NHRA talk. It's the Straight Line, presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts with Marty Huff and 10-time NHRA winner Doug Herbert. Brought to you by Hercules Tires. Now, here's your hosts, Doug and Marty.
This is the Straight Line on Drag Racing. Thanks for being here for our 1 hour of horsepower this week. Appreciate you being with us. It's Charlotte week, and we have drivers in the studio, so hang on. It's a special edition of the Straight Line. Wherever you may be, around the world, across the country, this is the Straight Line on Drag Racing on MRN.com. And I said it last year, and it still holds true. Before you, here in this studio, we have, amongst three of us, 10 IHRA Top Fuel Championships. Old six-timer here, Clay Millican, driver of the Parts Plus, Great Clips Top Fuel Dragster for Stringer Performance. He's got 6. Doug over there, Doug Herbert, he's 4-time and 10-time NHRA National Event winner, and I'm Marty Huff, and of course, I've got nothing. Clay, thanks for being here. I appreciate you being here.
Oh, I love coming on. I tell you, this is an exciting week. First race of the countdown. I'm ready to stomp on that loud pedal.
And the one thing that I forgot to mention, track record holder at Lucas Oil Raceway. Congratulations, man. That was a hell of a run, and nobody could get that.
I tell you what, that was a monster run, and actually Doug and I were just talking about it.
With Steve Johnson, I went and picked Clay up at the airport a minute ago, or I went and picked up Steve Johnson at the airport an hour or so ago, and then we went and picked up Clay. So I got like my 2 biggest motormouth friends in the car with me, and we're having a fun driving along. But Steve might have been the first one to say it. I don't remember. No, maybe I said something. I don't know. Anyways, then all of a sudden we started talking about that and how excited.
Yeah.
Oh, it was crazy.
We were just excited as Clay. Well, I don't know if we were just excited, but we were pretty excited.
It was good. I mean, it really was. 369 at the U.S. Nationals, first car to run in the 360s at that event. The only car to run in the 360s that event. Left there, number 1 qualifier and track record holder. I mean, that was a pretty cool deal, but there's more in the car. And if weather is right, we'll see it.
Did you
Friday
give
night.
Grubby a box of chocolates after that? I mean, he needed something.
Oh, he absolutely.
I'd give him $1. Him
I know
and
y'all
my
always
bet.
had a bet.
We always had a bet. For 20 years, I always
You
had a bet.
know what he
with
really
him.
wants?
What?
Vegemite.
Vegemite.
Yeah. One of the.
That's an Australian thing.
Yeah.
It's like Australian. I don't know. Like for us, we have peanut butter and. They do too, but Vegemite. So that's an Australian joke.
Okay, I'm going to have to try and find something.
Yeah, Vegemite.
But you weren't the last car out on the track, if memory serves, and other teams had a shot at that and couldn't do it.
A lot of big teams did because we were actually the first car to go down the left lane in that session. We had so many sessions, I don't even remember what day we did that.
yeah, right.
Indy, the marathon that it is.
Yeah,
but
right.
I honestly, I knew it was a good run. I was excited. But I thought, well, you got perennial number 1 qualifier this year. Steve Torrance was behind us.
Yeah.
The Army car was behind us. I mean, all the big dogs were really behind us, but it held up.
Yeah.
It held up.
That was awesome. I got a text from you not long after that. We're number 1 qualifier, and I was like, wow.
On the return road, I sent that text to Doug, and I was excited about it. Whether it stayed or not, it didn't matter. We knew that we got ourselves, essentially, we were looking to be a top 5 qualifier, so we had lane choice first round. That's crucial, crucial. And kind of fast forwarding into the race, losing lane choice is really what cost us the race.
Really?
The NHRA does a wonderful job prepping the racetrack, but for whatever reason, the right lane at Indy always kind of gets questionable, about second round. And sure enough, we lost lane choice. We were the 3rd quick car first round, but unfortunately, we raced the 1st quick car first round. We were in the right lane, and it was how hard do you push it? How hard do you try to outrun? We were racing J.R. Todd, and he had just run low ET of the round. But we knew if we pushed it hard enough, we were going to spin the tires. And actually, that's what ended up happening, second round. But, you got to win them 1 round at a time, and we won first round and just could not get the job done second round.
But it seems like the confidence is there. Things are coming along. I was at Bristol earlier this year, and got to talking over a set of tires with Doug Stringer, owner of the team, and he had said that some new parts and pieces were coming in at that point and maybe a couple of weeks down the road. It seems now that those parts and pieces are now just starting to come in pretty good time. But it seems, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like all those parts and pieces right now are starting to fit into place.
That's very, very true. Doug and Grubby and Lance and myself, our plan was our goal, I guess I should say, was to be top 7, and this was Grubby's plan, win a race, and then start this final countdown and go for it. Let the thing cut it loose, as Grubby says. And so we've done all those things almost. We end up number 8.
Yeah.
We went to a final round. We didn't win, but I told Grubby from the get-go, let's just win all the races starting in Charlotte, starting this weekend.
Sure.
These are the ones that really, really count. And Doug has prepared the team, with the proper parts and pieces for the countdown. And not to say we weren't prepared all year long, we were, but now we're bringing our newest, brand new blocks and cranks and heads, and everything is for now. And Brainerd and Indy was serious test sessions for Grubby to literally cut it loose. Our car's been one of the quickest early part of the run for the last 2 years, really. And we were missing a little bit in the middle part of the run, and he's now kind of got that under his belt. And we did it first round at Brainerd because we knew if we won that round, we would be locked into the countdown, and we run a 69 there. We go to Indy, same type conditions. He did those same adjustments for the middle part of the run, a 69 there.
And you can repeat it.
We repeated it at two different racetracks.
Yeah.
Right, and here's the other thing, too. We talked about earlier. The car shut off a little bit early on that run at Indy when it ran the track record low ET.
Shut up. It did not.
Shut up. Well,
absolutely.
But here's the better thing, probably from Grubby's standpoint, is now you have something to look at. Like, how to go 369 now. So that means it's going to help you go 368 and 367.
Absolutely.
But you know how to get back to that point. You've got the data to look at to go 369.
Absolutely. Weather
it's not a
conditions
guess.
permitting. It's not a guess anymore. We've done it a couple times. And yes, Marty, it did shut off early. The NHRA has a safety system, which is a good device, not griping about it at all, but it just hurt a piston a little bit coming up on the finish line, and it literally shuts the throttle off. So I coasted the last little bit of the run. We went 3.692 at only 316. I say only 316. It should have went 326.
Which would have been at least another 100th better.
At least another 100th. For sure, 369.2, we only need 3 thou. We're at a 68.
Put you down. Yeah.
So there's more there. There's more there.
Wow. How about that?
Well, this track here, ZMAX track is typically pretty fast. So, lane choice can and cannot be important. Just depends. But the weather conditions will probably be pretty good tomorrow night.
Yep, absolutely.
So, you know what? That'll fit in perfectly to the turn it loose plan.
Absolutely. Cut it loose through the middle. That'll happen tomorrow night, I'm sure. It's so weather dependent. And back to the track conditions, I don't want to keep beating on the Indy thing, but that's the first race in the 2 years that Grubby and I have worked together that he told me. He said lane choice is critical. And, of course, you as a driver know what that means. And for those of you that don't, that means stage that thing shallow as you can first round because lane choice is critical here.
You want
the first time. We want ET. And that was the first time he's told me that. And he told me that bright and early Sunday morning. And and it, held true.
Yep. Something else that we've done besides drag racing is we came over to your town with brakes a couple weeks ago. And I got to tell you, what a fun time. Your old buddy, the principal.
Yep. Dr. Courtney Fee.
Courtney is so neat, and just all the kids, all the parents. I don't even know the right way to explain how neat of a feeling for me that was, and I hope it was for you and for Donna and for everybody over there.
It was certainly it was a lot of work. You and I spent time going to my high school and Brighton High School and some other schools in the area. I went to a lot more on my own. And it's funny, you and I have worked together for years doing public service announcements for brakes, doing fundraising, all those things. That's the first school that I've actually attended. And I knew it would be good, but I had no idea how good. I mean, the professionalism, the group of professional drivers you have. It's unbelievable how well run that school is.
I'm just shocked every time I go and watch how things go, how they run. I was like,
I mean,
wow,
it
this
is
so cool.
incredible. I mean, and the amount of people we had show up, I was scared to death. Nobody's going to show up to this thing, after this wonderful gift that was given to us, by Alan Johnson, our pro stock buddy, and Tom and Joan. But the kids turned out, and it was piles of them. And wow, it was an emotional deal for me. Some of it was, but man, it was good.
And it ended up being a real community-based event.
100%.
Where
Absolutely.
the community finally kind of got behind it. We just showed some video of you guys at the high school talking to the kids. I mean, this is not even this is before the school even started. I mean, you were at the school.
Well,
or,
a
at the
fun
high
thing
school.
too, being out there at the school, a lot of obviously everybody in the town knows Clay. He's their hometown hero. I was surprised at how many of them hadn't been to a drag race before. That finally also they got a chance to go out to the Memphis track and watch that World Series of Drag Racing, which was pretty cool.
That was a great show.
Racing Bruce Litton, but also Larry Dixon was there, Roland Leong was there, Big Daddy Don Garlitz was there, and they all came over and visited us at breaks as well.
I mean, Dale Worsham was there running his car. I mean, it was a great show. Eric Enders and Jags were there. It was a heck of a busy weekend for sure. We raced the dragster on Friday night and Saturday night, and we had the break school Saturday and Sunday. It was a very full weekend, but very rewarding.
Sunday morning, you were tired.
Oh, I was hammered. There was not enough coffee to go around for me that morning, but wow. And another thing, this is kind of crazy, but it was awesome. So Sunday afternoon, I'm thinking, man, we're light on people, and that class was full. And I was like, man, I don't understand. The class was full, and it was so awesome. A huge group of people all showed up all together in their Sunday clothes. They had just left church. They had just left church, so they missed the first 10, 15 minutes of the classroom. But it just made me smile knowing these people literally, with their dress clothes on, left from church, come straight to the break school, and it got nice and sweaty, and it was hot
with their Sunday
clothes on, but it was awesome.
Yeah, and because for those of you that may not live here in the South, you go to church on Sunday, and usually then you migrate to somebody's house, and you have a Sunday dinner or something like that. So that's a big deal to leave church and not do that and go straight to the breaks class. I mean, that's a really cool deal for them to do that.
It was. I mean, that thing is just incredible. Those of you that haven't been, don't listen to just me and Doug. You owe it to yourself to watch the drivers that he have. What they do with the kids is amazing.
Really
there were so many kids that did not want to be there. I mean, did not want to be there. One in particular, and I'm not going to call names on the show, but his mom told him, keys are class. That's what she told him.
Oh,
keys are
I
class.
love that.
Yes, keys are class. And you could look in his eyes and tell that he did not want to be there. He knew how to drive. He's around race cars all the time. By the time it was over with, he was smiling. It was awesome.
Yeah, and that's one of the things
fun.
that
That's the
Doug
most fun
says.
thing for me.
Yeah,
is seeing that transition that we get.
Yep, from I really don't want to be here to I don't want to leave. And that's one of the great messages here is you can learn something, and it's fun to learn something, and that's what happens. We'll get more into breaks because there's a big breaks event here tonight in the Charlotte area, and we'll talk more about that here in just a minute. Joined in studio by Clay Millican along with Doug Herbert. I'm Marty Huff. More of the Straight Line coming up.
This is The Straight Line, brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts. More coming up right after this.
From work life to nightlife, from home to the road, your day can take you anywhere. These fast-paced times call for Wrangler Advanced Comfort jeans. Advanced Comfort is designed to keep up with you, no matter where you go or what you're doing. They're made with 20% stronger denim and 4-way flex technology that moves with you. Wrangler Advanced Comfort. Go anywhere, look great, and be comfortable. Wrangler Advanced Comfort jeans. Try on a pair today.
Hi, this is John, the pace car driver. Safety is very important to me and my family, so I keep informed about recalls. There are drivers out there that don't know that their very own car could be under a recall, and that's dangerous. So to protect you and your family, go to safercar.gov/check for recalls and enter your vehicle identification number. And if it is, call your local dealership. They'll fix it for free. To learn about other Drive for Safety messages, visit safercar.gov. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Greasy grime on your vehicle could take hours to clean, but not with Super Clean. Right now at O'Reilly Auto Parts, buy one bottle of Super Clean all-wheel, multi-purpose, or foaming degreaser and get one free. Plus, earn double points during O Rewards Member Appreciation Month. O'Reilly Auto Parts, better prices every day. Limit supply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Welcome back to The Straight Line, brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Here's more with Marty Huff and Doug Herbert.
Thanks for being with us here on The Straight Line, joined in studio by the driver of the Great Clips Parts Plus Top Fuel Dragster for Stringer Performance, Clay Millican, and Doug Herbert. I am Marty Huff. Twitter questions. We don't get a whole lot of these because sometimes we just can't get to them in the amount of time, but we've got a whole hour today, so we're going to go for it. Nathan Webster wants to know, Clay, what's your favorite track to race at, and what's your favorite food at the track?
Wow. You know what? I have a multi-answer for that.
Okay.
So my favorite track is Memphis. That's home.
Yeah.
The nicest track we race at is right here. No question about it. ZMAX Dragway is the nicest facility. The track that gives me, like, charges me up, we don't race there anymore, but Rockingham. I love Rockingham. I raced IHRA for 7 years, so we raced there 14 times in 7 years, and I think I won that thing 11. So I kind of like Rockingham.
Right.
But favorite racetrack food, that's easy. We have a hot dog roller in the hospitality area. I love that thing.
Really?
Hot dog rolling machine, absolutely. I don't know what it is about hot dogs off the roller, but they're better.
That's funny because my thing I used to do, and I got started from Steve Evans. Steve Evans would come over, and we could visit on Sunday morning, and we'd go get a hot dog. Sunday morning. That was what we did. And so, even after we lost Steve back in 99 or something, I went every morning and got a hot dog. That was what I did, and that was my tribute to Steve Evans. For those listeners that don't know Steve Evans, go to some old NHRA videos, Diamond P or whatever.
You can't miss
Steve
him.
Evans. I mean,
because
Steve
he's
Evans
on all of them.
Yes.
Right. Dave McClellan and Steve Evans were the voices of drag racing, really, for so many years.
Forever.
Big Mac.
Forever and ever.
Yeah.
So I'm with you, hot dog.
Hot dog
man.
roller. I love the hot dog roller. That's for sure.
Doug, for you, is Bristol, I know, was one of them, if not your favorite, because, again, like
Same
Clay,
thing.
it's the same thing.
Yeah, I won 7 years in a row at Bristol, and so just like I love Bristol.
Yeah.
But I've got a a little bit of a different thing. Yeah, same thing. ZMAX this is my hometown.
Yep.
I love Charlotte, and Marcus and Bruton, the Smith family, building this track in my backyard. I just love that. But then also,
yeah, sure,
Pomona.
You got to go back
when
to
I
your
was
home.
a kid. Hanging on the fence at Pomona, watching the snake, watching the mongoose, watching Big Daddy. Racing at Pomona was like, man. So, when we've talked about that on the show before, I've only won at Pomona one time, but winning Pomona Top Fuel was like, man, it was the only race my dad was ever at. Yeah. My boys were there, my dad was there, and winning Pomona.
That's
that
huge.
that was the best.
That was huge.
That was the best ever.
It is something about your hometown track. I mean, like I say, Memphis is very special to me. They've done so many things. They held the brakes class for us. They actually inducted me into the Hall
love
of
Memphis
Fame.
too, because I won Top Fuel there in '99.
Exactly,
Yeah.
you won there. So it is a hard thing, but definitely, for me, the home track is just hard to beat.
Any track you win at is always a good one, but
Oh, yeah.
your home track. And then that's my problem is I'm a gypsy, right? So I've got different home tracks. I don't know if I'm a gypsy. I've lived here for 25 years, so I'm not maybe a gypsy. But growing up in Pomona, transplanted here. But before they built the track here in Charlotte, Bristol was my home track.
Yeah, it's close.
Yeah, Bristol was
Relatively
my home track.
close.
something Tommy Johnson Jr. is going to join us at the bottom of the hour. Something that I'm going to ask him. I'll ask you first. Your thoughts on how the countdown is structured via points. As if this time you're the number 8 qualifier, you come in 90 points to the bad on that. What are your thoughts about the disparity from top to bottom once you head into the countdown?
I actually kind of have a two-part answer for that as
All
well.
right.
If I was leading the points coming in, like had a huge lead, I guess
You'd be
Antron-
pissed.
Yeah, exactly. You wouldn't like this setup. Jason Line had a huge lead.
Yeah.
It's reset. But I understand it for the excitement for the fans. It excites our team because we go from knowing we're going to finish in the top 10 to coming here with a legitimate shot of winning the championship. You know, NASCAR did it. Drag racing's done it. It definitely brings excitement back to the sport for the end of the year because you have seasons where somebody gets a big lead and they can't be caught.
Yeah.
You know, this definitely stirs it up.
You're coming in with 6 races to go, 90 points back. It's doable, and it's been done.
It's been done from 10th.
Yeah, we saw Robert Height do that here not too long ago. But at 90 points, I mean, basically, you're giving a whole race to the field before you even start.
But you know what happens, and Clay will verify this, I'm sure. The person that wins the championship, the shootout, is going to typically win 2 or 3 or 4 races like Del Worsham last year. I mean, he was on a tear.
Absolutely.
And that seemed like what happens, and it's probably still going to come down to the last race and maybe even the last round. But the best car is probably going to win. So starting off at 9th, or 8th, whatever, you're 90 points behind. No big deal. You got the best car. You're going to win.
Yep. The only thing that could prevent that is if you happen to race the same guy in the final round every time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're
The
right.
chances of that are – but
Yeah.
then you've got the 2 best cars. I'll take our chances because coming in without the countdown, we could not win the championship.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, we've got as good a shot as anybody in that top 10.
Yeah. And
Robert Height proved it. It can be done.
Yep. And it's the momentum going in. Robert Height, again, was a great example of that. Last year, Del Worsham was a super example of that. I think they had won one race before the countdown, and then all of a sudden, boy, the combination came together for those guys, and then they won 3 races and were in a couple of finals in that way during the countdown in the schedule. It's about momentum.
It is. It is so momentum-based. And what that means is, you know, your car combination's working, everything's clicking, the car's going down the racetrack, and that's huge.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, yes, we lost second round at Indy, but I feel like we've got that right now.
You left there with momentum.
You left there with
absolutely.
momentum.
Well, I mean, as you mentioned, you went to Brainerd, ran the same number as you did at Indianapolis, and ran really well in both events during qualifying and making a big run. Because you guys have been known as the, more of the little train that could, hey, we're just going A to B, we're running mid-pack. If somebody, goes real low on us, we'll tip our caps.
Yep.
Nobody can say that anymore because you can go out there and make a shot and get a track record.
Oh, we can. We can run with the big dogs. And we qualified number 1 at this event last year. And
you did. That's right. I had forgot about that.
I'm kind of curious to see. I think, and I'm the world's worst statistician. I'm looking at you, Marty, because you're pretty good at remembering this stuff. But I think we qualified number 1 with a 75. I would not be scared to say that a 75 will be like 8th this weekend.
You may not get top half of the 75.
Exactly. That's how much the cars have picked up since last year. And they're closer. Everybody's so close now.
They're packed. Yeah, they're packed together. Okay, I got a question. So you've got momentum. Brainerd, Indy, you've got performance.
Mm-hmm.
So performance, momentum. You've got plenty of wins. You've got plenty of NHRA final rounds. What is it going to take to get that?
Oh, I know.
I mean, David Grebnick's won races. Lance Larson has won races. Yep. We got to get you into the winner's circle, and this would be a good place to do it.
Yeah, like I told Grubby, his goal was to have a race win before the countdown started. My goal is to win them all from here forward. What's it going to take? Somebody pointed out that I think I'm now tied for second on all-time runner-ups in NHRA. That's a record that I could care less about having.
Right.
I think it's 9 final rounds now or whatever it is. when it's meant to happen, it will. We're all doing the correct things. I've lost in final rounds any way you can think of, but I think when the time's right, it'll just happen. You've done this, Doug. I mean, when it's your day, it just happens. It's
when
weird.
it's not your day, you do everything right, and it still doesn't go right. When it is your day, you do everything wrong, and it still goes right.
Still goes right. I mean, there's been, in all the IHRA wins that I had, there were some times when I left, I'm like, man, we had no shot of winning that thing, but we won. It just happened. And I think some of all these runner-ups I have, I may be paying for all the wins I got over there, in some strange kind of way,
And I'm a firm believer with winning that first race. And, and I was listening to the, XM NASCAR, Pistol Pete and all those guys. Oh, no, that doesn't, that's a wise tale, whatever. They were talking that yesterday, and I thought, you know what? They're wrong on that because you win your first race. Are you going to win the second one right after that? No, I don't. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying once you know how to win, something happens. We've talked about that, Marty, over the years. Yeah. It happened with Eric Enders. It's happened with 10 drivers that we've talked to because you
Richie
see
Crampton.
You see, like Clay's team, the performance is there. Once they win, then it's all of a sudden you have that extra confidence, you have the extra momentum. Yep. The whole team picks up.
And
other
I think
people in the
probably
pits.
just hit on it a little bit. I've won a lot of races, but this is a new group. We haven't won as a group. I think once this group wins, then it's on.
Yeah,
exactly.
I would agree with that. I got another question for you here after the break. It's something that Doug rails on every week here since about Topeka. And I think I know if you know where I'm going with that. More with Clay Millican coming up. We got a whole hour for you here today on the Straight Line, so keep it here. More on Straight Line coming up.
This is the Straight Line brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts. We'll have more for you right after this.
From work life to nightlife, from home to the road, your day can take you anywhere. These fast-paced times call for Wrangler Advanced Comfort jeans. Advanced Comfort is designed to keep up with you, no matter where you go or what you're doing. They're made with 20% stronger denim and 4-way flex technology that moves with you. Wrangler Advanced Comfort. Go anywhere, look great, and be comfortable. Wrangler Advanced Comfort jeans. Try on a pair today.
Whatever you drive, wherever you go, Hercules Tires will get you there, whether you're running on dirt or running a job. Our dependable, high-quality tires are the perfect fit for your needs. For unmatched value, selection, and warranty with industry-leading road hazard protection, there's only one choice: Hercules Tires. To learn more, visit HerculesTire.com or call 800-677-9535. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength.
Hi, this is John, the pace car driver. Safety is very important to me and my family, so I keep informed about recalls. There are drivers out there that don't know that their very own car could be under a recall, and that's dangerous. So to protect you and your family, go to safercar.gov/check for recalls and enter your vehicle identification number. And if it is, call your local dealership. They'll fix it for free. To learn about other Drive for Safety messages, visit safercar.gov. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
It's O-Rewards Member Appreciation Month at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Stop in today and check out store-wide savings plus earn double points on over 225 items. It's our way of saying thank you. If you're not already a member, sign up today during O-Rewards Member Appreciation Month. It's fast, easy, and free. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better prices every day.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
You're listening to The Straight Line, brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Now it's back to Marty Huff and Doug Herbert.
Thanks for joining us on The Straight Line today, and we've added one. Coming in now is the driver of the Make-A-Wish Dodge for Don Schumacher Racing. Tommy Johnson Jr. joins us. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
Good to be here.
We were just before the break. Something that Doug rails on now every week. The funny cars are now faster than the top fuel dragsters.
Tommy's a dragster guy too, so
well,
it's got to make him mad too. This is not.
I wanted to get your, since you've won it both. I wanted to get your sentiment on that.
All I can say is I would have qualified for top fuel at Indy in my funny car. So yeah, but no, it's actually it's impressive. It's been exciting to see what the funny cars are doing and to see the performance. And there's been a couple times I'm like, man, the dragsters aren't running that good. What's wrong? You know, like they should be running 65 and we're running low 80s. It's like, come on, what? It's kind of a trick because it's the headers, you know what I mean?
Sure.
And when this header thing all came about, bam, we picked up right away. But now we're learning with these headers. Everybody's like, well, are you still developing a header? No, we're done. They put a rule on it. This is it. But we continue to go quicker, and it's because we're learning how to run the car with those headers and doing other things that is another advantage by running those headers. So, yeah, it's been really impressive. But, I mean, I like dragsters. I'll drive whatever they let me in, but I really prefer a funny car. If you gave me a choice, I'd probably take a funny car just because it's more of a challenge.
Yeah. Yeah, but Doug comes in here. The first thing that comes out of his mouth
every week, I just say,
the funny cars were faster than the dragsters.
Right. Yeah, I know.
But
tell us, TJ, tell us about John Collins and how. I mean, your team, you guys are a threat to win it every week. I mean, every race you go to, it's a threat to win with that car.
Yeah, we're kind of the guys that fly under the radar. You know, we're not the headliner. We don't get all the attention. We don't. You're not going to see us as the favorite to win every week. We just kind of lay low and but we're right there all the time. And John's a really good story. John Collins, he's from the same hometown as I am, from Ottumwa, Iowa. And I mean, that's
what's
pretty
the chances of
yeah,
that?
what's
Yeah.
the chances? I mean, anybody in drag racing, what's the chances they come from Ottumwa, Iowa? But he went to a race with me back in probably '98, and he helped me. He said, hey, I'll go with you. I'll help you at Chicago. And he did the bottom end that weekend. And, a couple months later, he says, I'd really like to do that. So I said, yeah, I'll help you. And I got him a job at Joe Gibbs Racing when I was there, and he's worked his way up, started at bottom end, and he's just a really intelligent guy. He's not your engineer type. He's not the the brainiac guy, but he can look at anything and study it for 5 minutes. Goes, okay, I know how this works. And if the generator breaks on the trailer, he can fix it. If you need to paint something, he had a body shop. That's what he did before, and he can fix that. He can do electrical. He can fix your computer. I mean, he's just a guy that can do everything.
That's the guy you want around.
Yeah. And he's just worked his way up. Worked at Perdome's and then as a crew member, and then went over to Schumacher's and became an assistant crew chief under Tobler there. And it was time. It was his time to move on. He'd kind of done everything he could as an assistant, and they gave him the reins, a couple years ago with my car, and he's done nothing but positive things, and we've become very competitive. And he and I have a chemistry, kind of probably being from the same area, that he can look at me and I just nod my head. I know what he's thinking.
Right.
So you have to have that. There's nothing that replaces chemistry.
Right. Exactly.
You talked about being the guys that are usually not the favorites to win. I was at Bristol this year. There was no question. You guys had the best car on the property, no doubt about it. If I was talking to people on Sunday morning, everybody's going, "Yeah, that Make-A-Wish car. If they play their cards right, nobody's got a chance at them. You played your cards right, got that win." So there's no doubt that at some point when you guys get it right, that they can point at you and go, "Yeah, those guys are the favorites."
Yeah, I said we need to race at Bristol 24 times a year.
Doug was just talking about that. Yeah,
I've won it 2 out of the last 3 years. And it's just one of those tracks I don't know what it is. Some tracks you just do well at, and there's certain tracks like I just assume we never go to Atlanta. I just never do well there. So we're not the car that's going to go out and set low ET every round. But we're the car that's going to go down the track, and you're going to have to beat us. He's not, super aggressive, but he will get everything that the track has to offer that run on that pair. We're going to run that, and unless we beat ourselves, we're going to be a tough car. And he learned the first year, the second, like last year, he did very smart calls. I said, you're doing a great job of racing. We're not setting low ET, we're not setting top speed, but we're doing a great job of racing. And on Sunday, it's all about racing.
Clay, sounds pretty familiar what we were just talking about here about 20 minutes ago.
Absolutely. No question about it. I want to go back to the Ottumwa, Iowa thing. People think of Radar O'Reilly.
Yeah.
I'm a huge MASH fan. But the beginnings of my 6 Top Fuel World Championships come from Ottumwa, Iowa. A lot of people don't realize this. Everything that Peter Lehman and I started with was Tommy's. We took all of his old equipment, him and his dad's stuff, and that's how I got my start.
Did not know that.
Yeah, when I switched to funny cars, made the move to Gibbs, Clay bought our family operation.
Clay
That's
did,
how
and
we
Peter
started.
Lehman did.
Well, it sounded good at the time.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
That sounds good.
Exactly. But
Don't ever let the truth stand in the way of a good story.
exactly,
Clay. Come
exactly. But it's really cool. I'm a small town guy as well, and we took all that equipment, and it was some good stuff there. I mean, I think you had finished second.
Yeah, in the IHRA
championship by less than half a round. Or
yeah,
something.
we ran out of money.
Yeah, exactly. But and we took that very same equipment and we took it to another little small town, Munford, which you visited recently, and turned that into almost a 20-year career for me now.
Yeah.
It's amazing how small.
So you're saying I can take credit for your entire career, man? That's great.
Yeah,
I appreciate
absolutely.
That.
Well, really, I wasn't thinking about you as much as your dad. To be
Okay,
honest
yeah.
with you.
Yeah.
That's kind of what
I
was
hear that a
thinking
lot.
about.
Yeah.
And winning Bristol's got to be really cool for you because, we literally were just talking about your dad before you and I left the racetrack. That's got to feel good to go out there and win that with him there, and I know he was there.
Father's Day, it happens to be his birthday as well. It's funny that I like Father's Day weekends. I've won I don't know how many times now on Father's Day, 4 or 5 times, and it's one of those things. You do well on that weekend, and it's nice. It's his birthday and his Father's Day. It's the same weekend every year, and to be able to do that, because let's be real here. I mean, I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for my family.
Absolutely.
So actually, I got him the winner's jacket. I had it made for him. He's going to wear that a lot more than I am. He's pretty proud of that. So
you kind of took over from Dixon. Remember, Dixon was the Father's Day winner.
Yeah.
He always did that.
He and I doubled up on Father's Day at Englishtown before. So I mean,
that's really cool.
Yeah, it's just a like I said, we should race every weekend at Bristol on Father's Day. It should be every weekend.
Yeah. TJ, tell us about Terry Chandler and the Make-A-Wish and how that works. What a neat deal. I mean, I see it on TV and National Dragster, on the internet, about kids that need a little special attention, and they come over there, and you guys do that with that 2-seat dragster, with pit experiences with the other drivers at DSR. It's just a pretty neat thing.
Well, you can't describe what a great lady Terry Chandler is, and a lot of people are like, who's Terry Chandler? Well, her brother happens to be Johnny Gray, who drove this car before me, and Johnny retired, and Terry says, well, I don't want to quit going the races. I love this, and so she stepped up in this funding the team out of her pocket, 100% out of her pocket. Make-A-Wish pays nothing. And she says, I want to give back. This is going to be a giving car. We're going to help some people. And she goes, I love kids. And they worked a deal with Make-A-Wish. And Make-A-Wish is on our car. They pay $0, and they get, basically $3 million sponsorship for free every season. We bring the kids to the track on Saturday. We get with the local chapters in the area we're racing. They bring a group of kids. They've either had a wish granted recently or their wish is coming up. And it's kind of a bonus for them to come to the track and enjoy themselves, be a normal kid for a day, because they're going through some tough times, and I can tell you on Saturday sometimes it's pretty rough to see some of these kids and what they're fighting, what they're battling, and it puts everything in a pretty good perspective that, hey, we didn't run really well, but it's not that big a deal after you see what
smoking
they're
the tires is not that big a
yeah,
deal.
it's not that big, and to see them come out to the races and they're laughing and cheering on their car, and not only them, their parents as well, because the parents are going through this with them, and to see them come out as a family and enjoy themselves at the track on a Saturday with us, and it's special. And we've had the opportunity to grant 2 wishes, and, having the kids there on Saturday is great, but I can't tell you what it's like to be a part of granting an actual wish. To see these kids' face light up, and we did at Vegas a couple years ago, and Austin wanted to be a race car driver and win a trophy for his team, and Doug Foley got with us, and he donated the cars to do it, the 2-seat cars, and Austin and I raced Antron and Jack Beckman, and we beat him, and Austin got the trophy, and to see him light up at the other end of the track, and they paraded him back in front of the crowd in the Mello Yello vehicle, and they gave him a standing, not a single person sitting there, the entire place gave him a standing ovation.
That's awesome.
And I leaned over to him, I said, they don't do that for me, man. So we were able to do another one this year out at Sonoma. Guy Breezy, he wanted to drive a race car, so Antron Brown and Brad Mason on the Matco team got with us as well. Brad's daughter races a junior. We had it, he took it to Sonoma with them in the trailer, and we had it painted Make-A-Wish for him, and he made a pass on Saturday in front of the crowd in between Top Fuel and Funny Car.
Wow.
So he's a official NHRA race car driver right along with all the fuel cars right in
That
between
is cool.
sessions. So it's just a neat program, and it's all due to Terry. And not only does she fund my team, she funds Jack Beckman's as well, and donates that away to Infinite Heroes. So just there's not too many people left out there like her, and it's just really special. It makes me feel very honored to be able to drive for her.
Absolutely, and the satisfaction and lifting you up, seeing those kids is like that's
you have
pretty
to
good therapy.
you have to work at that because sometimes it can bring you down. So you got to take that and turn it around and make it a positive. Yeah.
Right. Well, you know that.
Yep.
Exactly.
Great show going on. Don't miss anything. We're going to take a short break, and coming up, we'll have more with Tommy Johnson Jr. and Clay Millican coming up.
You're listening to The Straight Line, brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts. More right after this.
From work life to nightlife, from home to the road, your day can take you anywhere. These fast-paced times call for Wrangler Advanced Comfort jeans. Advanced Comfort is designed to keep up with you, no matter where you go or what you're doing. They're made with 20% stronger denim and 4-way flex technology that moves with you. Wrangler Advanced Comfort. Go anywhere, look great, and be comfortable. Wrangler Advanced Comfort jeans. Try on a pair today.
Whatever you drive, wherever you go, Hercules Tires will get you there. Whether you're running on dirt or running a job, our dependable, high-quality tires are the perfect fit for your needs. For unmatched value, selection, and warranty with industry-leading road hazard protection, there's only one choice: Hercules Tires. To learn more, visit HerculesTire.com or call 800-677-9535. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength.
O'Reilly.
Greasy grime on your vehicle could take hours to clean, but not with Super Clean. Right now at O'Reilly Auto Parts, buy one bottle of Super Clean all-wheel, multi-purpose, or foaming degreaser and get one free. Plus, earn double points during O Rewards Member Appreciation Month. O'Reilly Auto Parts, better prices every day. Limit supply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
It's The Straight Line, brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Now here's Marty Huff and Doug Herbert.
The last edition until Leah.
Yeah.
So they stuck us in a little hole.
Welcome back to The Straight. We're sitting here just swapping stories. That's what happens when you have NHRA drivers.
There's a
here.
lot of stories here.
Yeah.
Between us, we could tell some stories.
Yeah,
let me tell you.
and some of them are even true. Clay Millican is here, Tommy Johnson Jr., getting ready for the first race in the countdown here at ZMAX Dragway coming up this weekend. We had Tony Schumacher on last week.
Never heard of him.
Yeah, I asked, hey, Leah Pritchett has come on to your team. It's got to be good to have another dragster over there and some more information and all this. And he goes, no, this is not a good thing for me and my team, because that is a quality car with quality parts and quality people. And I thought, you know what? He's right about that. So when you show up to the track every week, you got Hagen over there, you got Caps over there, you got Beckman over there. You're in the same camp, but you know exactly what those parts and pieces are doing and where they're going and how they all work. So that's got to be a good thing and a bad thing.
Yeah, I could have won Indy if it wasn't for Hagen.
Right.
Didn't you go over there and slip a Mickey in his gas tank or something?
Yeah.
There has a lot of positives from it. The crew chiefs all work really well together. They share information. They especially when one of our teams is having a problem, you look over your shoulder and here comes all the other teams to help you. And we bounce ideas off of each other. I know they have crew chief meetings every week after the race to discuss what happened throughout the weekend. And hey, look, we had a problem with this part. I want everybody to be aware of it. There's so many positives. The negatives, they're a really tough team. It's not only do I have one or two, no, there's three more cars that I know are as good as mine or better, and it's it can be really tough. But I think it works well. Just to if we could get all four, 1, 2, 3, 4, Don would be happy. But it's a pretty tough game out there. It doesn't usually happen.
Does Don pick favorites here? Sometimes I see him on one side of the track, the other side in the middle.
I don't think so. If he just is worried. He wants to win. He doesn't care who does it. He just wants somebody to win. And I give you all these parts and all these pieces and the best equipment. Somebody better win.
What about when you race Jack Beckman? So 2 cars, Terry Chandler. Where's Terry Chandler stand? She stay in the middle?
She stays in the middle most of the time. Yeah, she tries to. She goes, I can't play favoritisms. I got to stay in the middle. So I need a picture, because I don't know if I believe her sometimes. I can't see her, so I need some photo evidence.
What way is she leaning there in the middle? Yeah. Interesting.
Clay, how do you guys manage just being that one team operation. Do you go to other trailers and bounce things off of people, or
no.
there is none of that?
No,
none of that.
None of that. I mean, and
Grubnick's got plenty of friends in the pits. He can go around and ask plenty of.
He does,
people.
but are we sharing information? Absolutely not. And I want to go on here and say this right now. The tune-up that we have is 100% David Grubnick's. There are a lot of good running cars out there. Their tune-up is based off of someone else's tune-up. The tune-up program we use, Grubby built it. The everything we're doing is his, and I'm proud of that, and I'm proud of what he's done on his own.
Yeah.
I mean, that dude is
he's
smart.
he's no dummy.
He is so smart.
Dummy.
It's really cool. That,
And
if you ever make him mad, he can hop in and drive the car too.
oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
You'd have to change
my car
the
a bunch
seat.
of times. Yeah.
Yeah,
well, probably.
Yeah,
my car, he used to just hop in and go down. And
Yeah.
then
Yeah, that
my
makes
crew
sense.
guys would go, "Hey, Grubnick tested the car. It went 200s quicker with him. We're not going to let him drive the car anymore." Then.
Have you had any talks with another single car team to maybe just kind of merge things together? Or it sounds like everything's very proprietary to your team.
it is because we are a single team.
And you don't want to give that up.
And there's really, it's hard to do because unless you all buy the exact same parts and pieces, you can't really intermix none of that anyway. I mean, it's just,
True.
I can tell you for a fact our 4 funny cars are not tuned the same. They're similar, but they're not the same.
Right.
Everybody does it a different way, and they all go out and run about the same. So.
Yep. I mean, the crew chief has an idea and a road he's headed down, and if another crew chief has a different idea, he's headed down that road. I don't care what team you're part of.
Yeah.
Crew chief is built in a way that he's going to do it the way he wants to do it.
Yeah.
Clay and I talk. I mean, we talked to Brainerd, about just, I'm not competing against Clay, and I've been watching, and I ask him some questions, and we discuss things. So there's people you can go and lean on, and they always say you have to ask the right question to get the right answer. So you have to, if you're going to ask somebody for advice, you need to be asking the right question.
Is it kind of like code? If
No, if I've got a secret and they don't ask specific
Yeah.
about it, I'm not going to tell them.
Yeah.
But if they ask the right question, I'll tell them the right
Or
answer.
you could be like some of the old crew chiefs where they just tell you the totally wrong thing to try and get you on the wrong path.
You got to be careful of that too. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, Tommy and I are friends, so we're not going to go tell each other how we tune the car because, to be honest, me and him really don't care. It doesn't matter. Now we will ask each other driver questions. I mean, we're going to be honest about that.
Right lane versus left lane. Hey,
Sure.
there's a dip here.
Yeah.
You got to watch this and maybe stage the car a little bit different or something like that.
As these guys know, everybody thinks we go straight. There's a lot of work to going straight.
It is. It is. I mean, there's always some little something you may need to drive around, or there, you may see something as simple as where the sun's at. I know that sounds crazy.
Oh, no.
Where the sun's at affects a lot. Now, Tommy's in a different spot in the car because he's in a funny car,
Sure.
but he and I can say, man, it's the wrong time of day to be up here in the dragster, and I can say, man, the sun's going to be in your eyes here.
Seattle.
It's
Yeah.
exactly.
Sonoma,
Atlanta.
Seattle.
Atlanta.
Yeah.
It will get you. It's
Yeah.
but yeah, we talk to each other that way, but as far as tuning information, nah.
Yeah.
We don't know anything anyway.
No.
Yeah.
Coming up to the countdown, not only do you drive an intricate part of DSR, but you also have parts and pieces that you work with. Now that we're getting into the real busy part of the year, I'm guessing the business has picked up.
I was on a pretty quick pace to get here to the studio because that's what I was doing before I got here. Was out making some deliveries to some teams, and yeah, it's just kind of something I fell into by accident. But supply a lot of the teams with consumables. Basically, it's everybody asks, "What do you sell?" And I said, "I sell everything." When they open the trailer cabinet every week and go, "Man, we're out of that again," that's what I sell. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's been pretty busy, especially at Indy. Having my shop there and everybody coming to town, and I was pretty depleted after Indy, so I spent last week restocking. Yeah,
but that's a
a good
problem to
thing.
have.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Tommy, tell us at Indy, went to the semis and got beaten in a really close race.
Man.
I mean,
13,000.
and it was, and the way Hagen's car was running, like that was going to be hard to beat him. But you guys were right there and have been there. I've looked back at the races earlier in the year that you have been beat, and you're not getting railroaded. I mean, it's like it's a race, a close race.
We beat ourselves a few times, but overall, anytime we have lost, I mean, we're talking 100th at the most, 200th here or there.
Right.
But we've had a really good, solid car. Everybody asks, what kind of year you have? And I said, well, it's not been a great year, but it's not been bad. It's been good, And last 2 years we finished third, and last year we peaked a little early. We went to 5 straight finals, I think, last year, and a whole bunch. I was in 8 finals, and it's just we peaked a little early in the season. And at the countdown, it's all about peaking at the right time,
right?
And having your mojo at the right time of the year, and we're peaking a little late this year, and I'm okay with that. It's
so did Worsham last year.
Yeah, he did
How'd
the
that
exact
work
same
out?
thing. Yeah, he's kind of what Dell did last year. He did okay, and then all of a sudden the countdown comes and he just was on fire. And I can kind of see that in our team. I'm hoping that's what I see because the last few races the car's been running really well. Ran my career best the last 2 events. Ran the career best ET in Brainerd and the career best speed at Indy. And
wow.
it's coming around. So I'm looking forward to the countdown. I mean, it's going to be good.
How about ZMAX Dragway? What's your opinion and what's your history here? What do you like or what do you dislike about ZMAX?
I started off the countdown last year here with a runner-up. So
not bad.
Left here, we're tied for the lead in the points. So it was a good weekend, and it kind of set the tone for the countdown. The unfortunate thing is it's one bad race in 6, and it kind of puts you out of it. We had a first-round loss in St. Louis, and that was it. We're done, and we finished third. But I like this place. It's what I like is after the repave, it's getting better and better and better every time we come. The rubber's getting better, the track's getting better, and the performance of the cars gets better. It'll be interesting. It's going to be a little warm. Sound like maybe a little humid, but looks like it's going to be dry, so we can work with it.
That's right. We don't have any rain tires.
Yeah.
So.
No. I asked Clay a little bit earlier about what his thoughts were about the points differential once you reset for the countdown. What are your thoughts about position that Clay's in, position you're basically giving away a race to the field by the time you get here?
Yeah, if I was Ron Capps, I'd really be upset about it. I kind of like it.
Same thing we said. Yeah.
Right.
It's different. I'm a traditionalist. I like what drag racing was all about when I was a kid, and I understand it. I get it. It's similar to stick and ball sports. We have a playoff system, and it's kind of the thing of now. I don't know if it'll last forever, but it is what it is, and you have to win that, no matter what it is. So it has its pros. It has its cons. You can have an opinion all day, but I don't know that it really matters because it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, as Clay said, Jason Lyon's probably the most upset drag racer on the face of the planet.
I like the stat at the end of the year they say, who would have won? Who would have did this?
Right. Yeah.
Woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Yeah, that's exactly right. All right, we're going to wrap up another great edition of the Straight Line after this break. Keep with us. About 10 more minutes here with Tommy Johnson Jr. and Clay Millican coming up.
This is The Straight Line, brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts. More coming up right after this.
From work life to nightlife, from home to the road, your day can take you anywhere. These fast-paced times call for Wrangler Advanced Comfort jeans. Advanced Comfort is designed to keep up with you, no matter where you go or what you're doing. They're made with 20% stronger denim and 4-way flex technology that moves with you. Wrangler Advanced Comfort. Go anywhere, look great, and be comfortable. Wrangler Advanced Comfort jeans. Try on a pair today.
O'Reilly.
It's O-Rewards Member Appreciation Month at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Stop in today and check out store-wide savings plus earn double points on over 225 items. It's our way of saying thank you. If you're not already a member, sign up today during O-Rewards Member Appreciation Month. It's fast, easy, and free. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better prices every day.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Welcome back to The Straight Line, brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Here's more with Marty Huff and Doug Herbert.
Well, I went to McLeansboro. They didn't found.
Here we go. Welcome back to The Straight Line. Tommy Johnson Jr., Clay Millican joining us here, along with Doug Herbert. I am Marty Huff. Wanted to mention, coming up, Doug, Mike Lewis, who is the vice president over at Don Schumacher Racing, came out just yesterday, a release coming out with Mike Lewis. I'm going, what the heck is this? Mike Lewis is going to jump back into a car in a top alcohol dragster with brakes not brake sponsorship, with brakes logos on the car, much like
very
how
similar to what Make-A-Wish
does.
Yeah. And Mike, I sent Mike an invitation to our gala, our big party that we're going to have tonight. And he said, Doug, I can't make it, but I've got something better I want to do. Give me a call. And so I called Mike, and he said, hey, we want to put brakes on our A-Fuel dragster and race it over here in Charlotte. That'd be awesome. So, just super. We were talking about Mike. Mike's a great guy. We've all known in drag racing Mike forever, working for NHRA, working with the track up in Pennsylvania. His family up there, and working at Pro. I was on the Pro board of directors. Mike was our executive director at Pro, and so, gosh, known Mike forever, and he knew my boys, and everybody at drag races knew my boys growing up, and so I think it's a personal thing, with everybody at the drag races saw Dalton grow up, they saw John and James grow up, and I'm sure you chased them around, and they probably chased you around at the pits in the day, and so drag racing's a family thing, and for Mike to do that and just means the world to me.
Yeah, and speaking of which, tonight, coming up 7 o'clock is when it officially starts. People will probably start showing up at about 6 o'clock.
Yep.
Tonight, the Big Breaks Gala over at the Great Wolf Lodge, and not far from the racetrack if you're in the local area.
Exactly, yeah. It's our 9th gala that we've had, and I'm just thinking, I can't believe, because some days seems like yesterday that all these things happen. But the 9th year we're doing it. We're gonna have some fun tonight. We've got Jim Oberhofer. Jimmo is going to be our speaker, and I'm really looking forward to that. He says, I'm only going to talk, I think I probably got 40 minutes. I go, Mimi was like, Jimmo. No, dude, like, you can't talk for 40 minutes. It's got to be like 5 or 10. No. I talk. Everybody will be entertained for 40 minutes. So we don't know what we're going to get exactly. But.
So the theme tonight is denim and diamonds. So I cannot wait to see all the ladies in their denim. I do know for a fact that Donna's been working hard all week, like picking out the proper denim and diamonds. I'd never even heard of such thing.
And I never have either. And so the other night we were over at Mimi's dad's house, Felix Abatis. We're over at Felix's, and Felix has all this awesome stuff he's wearing. He was all excited, and then he fell and broke his foot. 2 days ago, he fell and broke his foot. He's hurt. Like, he just got out of the hospital yesterday, and they put a pin and plates and all this kind of stuff in his legs. Like, oh, man. So, I don't know. Normally he's a pretty big supporter of our gala, so we're going to figure out how to get Felix on FaceTime or something so we can get him in there. But hopefully we're wishing for Felix a speedy recovery. But I think he's got his leg propped up in the air and he's not going anywhere.
We've got a lot of smart fabricators. We could, get some sort of wheelchair or something like that with a prop up there.
Trust me, he would like to be. I know, but I think doctors like no.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
Glad he's okay.
Yeah, right.
Why? Apparently he broke it, and then somebody said, you need to go to the doctor. You really broke your foot. And he said, no, I'm fine. He got up and started dancing, and then he realized, okay, I'm not fine. This is really hurt. So.
The adrenaline wore off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Now, for those here in the local area, if they were interested, do you still have spots available?
You know what? Show up at the Great Wolf Lodge tonight about 6 o'clock, and maybe maybe there'll be some no-shows or something. The event's sold out, but maybe we'll have some no-shows. It's going to be over 300 people. We're going to have a great time, super great time. And you know what? There's something else they can do over in the pit area, Make-A-Wish, Don Schumacher area. On Saturday morning, we're going to have our pancake breakfast. Yeah. And so, you know what? That will be open to everybody. Saturday morning, Don Schumacher pit area, pancake breakfast.
Clay Millican, Tommy Johnson Jr., thanks so much for joining us here on the Straight Line. Appreciate it. For everybody involved, and this is a heck of a production here. So for everybody involved here at MRN in the Straight Line, thanks for being here. We'll talk to you next week on the Straight Line.
You've been listening to the Straight Line, presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Tune in again next Thursday at noon Eastern on MotorRacingNetwork.com and the MRN app. The Straight Line is the show for drag racing fans and is brought to you by Hercules Tires. This program is also available on demand at the MRN.com Media Center, or you can download it through iTunes or Stitcher. The Straight Line is a production of the Motor Racing Network. All rights reserved.